Can you help me understand a little bit? Because I understand you said it was a mutual decision. You also sort of indicated that you fought to remain the coach. So how do those two things work together?
The first thing that we do is we go through the season and what happened and what took place and what were the reasons why, what we could have done better along the way, and what would be the choices to move ahead. Because you're competing, you're trying to figure it out, and so I have very, very strong feelings about what we did and where we screwed it up and where we didn't come through the way we wanted to and what we did well, and so we just needed to touch on all of that. And the perception that the media has, on the outside in is not always accurate. You do the best you can and all, but you don't know the stories, you don't know the insides, you don't know, we don't share with you guys all of the details of the exchanges and what's the personalities and all of that stuff, and that needs to be brought to the surface. And so that's what happens in those. So that's the initial part of it, is trying to get at the essence of it, and then what is the essence of the adjustments that are necessary? And that's where the maybe don't see eye to eye on, because I see it one way, and I think I got a way to fix it, and I'm not going to kind of halfway fix it. I'm trying to fix it so it's perfect. So I've got real precise and specific thoughts, and they may not see it that way. They may not agree with it. They may not see that that's the right answer, or that's not the answer that makes them feel good. And the difficult part, if you guys could know, it's really hard because they're not football people. They're not coaches, and so to get to the real details of it is really difficult for other people. It's difficult for me to convey stuff to you guys, and as much broth as you have in your background, there's times when I kind of shrug my shoulders. Okay, that's as far as we got, and I can't take you any farther in this time frame we have. And you're going to understand it that way, and we're going to see it another way. And we're not going to see eye to eye. That's basically just common, dynamics, and that you deal with.
So whenever he talked about the amount of detail he went into on how to fix it perfectly, how he sees it, he went into that meeting prepared. Feels like he went in there and spilled his soul.
Yeah.
And they were like, that doesn't make us feel happy.
No. Get out, old man.
It didn't make them feel happy. Good. And then in his mind, as they're asking questions, he's like, this isn't a football. That's not a football question.
What the hell?
Why are they asking that? That doesn't make any sense what you're thinking right now in his mind, but he's still having to play it, though. Yep. So with your question there, I don't exactly get the angle of what you're saying. Can you reiterate it? They asked the question again. These people don't know the fucking game.
Nope.
These people have no idea what they're talking about. That's a wild scene in Seattle that I don't think any of us expected. And Pete Caroll, if he's willing to go through that diligence to piece together what and how he thinks that team can get back to greatness and restore greatness, it's like the guy's still got juice. The guy still wants to do it, I'd assume. And it's just wild that this is kind of how this is all ended for them up there. But I guess there's no real happy divorce ever in this particular world.
No, there's not. And it seems like Pete was a bit surprised by this as well. He probably thought it was a normal meeting, normal end of year. I don't know. Maybe he had some kind of idea that things weren't exactly how they should be. But who all do you think he was meeting with? The owner, of course, right? And then is John Schneider part of that? Because he and Schneider have had a long relationship now, too.
Well, and then is there legal counsel,
exactly.
financier? Is there?
Yeah, who all is in that meeting?
John would be a football guy, though, right?
Schneider for sure.
Yeah, that's the thing. So he just saying the owner is not a football gal?
So and then on that note, is Schneider thinking the same thing as Pete? Was Schneider on Pete's side as he was laying these things out?
No owners are football people, except I guess the Bengals owners are football people. That's their squad.
Well, Jim Irsay played at SMU, so
Jim Irsay is a football person.
Robert Kraft played quarterback at Bama.
Jerry played quarterback for Texas.
The Rooneys played football in the CFL, I think.
Bingo, yep.
Mark Davis is a football guy.
Amy Strunk led her flag football team to a national title 4 years in a row in high school.
Virginia basically built flag football.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, so all owners are football people.
Yeah.
The Waltons have sold more footballs than any other family in the history.
Bar none.
So they've been around it.
I guess maybe the Spagnolas.
Well, Tepper, you see, he played every sport.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's why he has all the answers.
Oh, see, I thought it was the opposite.
Bro, think of that soccer team
Yeah.
over there. We talk about the Panthers, obviously, because that's our sport. The soccer world just going to the FC Charlotte or whatever.
Biggest
It's
league
we got the richest owner here. We
awesome.
got real investment partnership with the NFL, like they have up in Seattle, I think, with the Sounders and the Seahawks. It's like, this is a perfect setup. And then Tepper's like, fired, you're fired. Why is this working? Why? That's what he's saying.
Yeah.
Bingo.
Why is this not working? It's like, will it ever work down there? But yeah, I think Tepper played every sport imaginable.
Yeah.
I think that's what he did. I think so.
Well, until he got kicked out of whatever league because he started fighting whoever they lost to.
Yeah, he actually spit on the commissioner and threw a bottle.
Yep.
Broke a guy's leg.
You said dog?
Allegedly.
How about him throw? Allegedly, he did not throw on those things.
Allegedly.
That is not real. We're making this all up.
Right.
Jokes.
Amy Strunk actually did not play flag football to our knowledge.
Sure.
I don't know if she won 4 straight titles. She could have. We have no idea.
Probably got granddaughters or grandsons that have, though.
But what we do know about David Tepper is, from the actions we've seen, he does got some explosion. You know what I mean? Like those ice
Quick
cubes.
twitch. He's
Might be
definitely quick twitch.
It might be a fence.
He throws hands, yeah.
Quick twitch, short fused.
Yeah, I don't know.
He's pretty explosive.
Got to find the right partner. Got to find the right head coach that can kind of vibe with that.
Did you hear Lombardi say Carolina for Belichick? And he said, probably not.
Yeah.
Probably not.
I don't think so.
If I had to guess for that one, it's.
You don't think Bill's going to do the Monday, review? Hey, 7 a.m. Bill, we're watching this game. I'm going to ask you every single play. What's going on?
I still believe that Tepper is waiting for somebody to come in and say, "Fuck you! I'm not meeting with you. I'm running football." Like
they would hate it, but they would also respect it. Like, okay,
Those-
they win, they can do whatever you want.
those super alpha, shall we say, human beings that are at the top. Like, it's just like dogs. I'll say all dogs. I was gonna say pit bulls because I have a pit bull, but I do not want pit bulls to get a bad image because of this. But dogs as a whole, if you're scared around a dog, it senses it and it treats you as such. Like, that is literally how a dog will treat you. Like, I wasn't going to do anything, but why
are you acting?
Why is this particular human acting like that? Some of those humans, if you walk in there timid, it's like, all right, that is how this is going to go forever. You almost got to match them. Like, you gotta match and like set the tone immediately. Like, hey, this is how this relationship is gonna go. I think Tepper's just been waiting for his soccer team and for his football coach, somebody to do that. Now, it's impossible to take that type of risk because if you do go up to Tepper and say, hey, we ain't fucking doing this, and he goes, you're fired, there's only 32 jobs.
Shit.
So you just lost a job. So if I'm wrong on this particular read about David Tepper, then you're out of job and screwed from one particular organization forever in your coaching career. But I feel like if it was to work, you're probably set up for a lot of success because he has the second most amount of money. He will spend it. He's already spent so much money. It's like the right person goes, like a Vrabel, for instance. Like if a Vrabel was to go there, and they're talking about Vrabel going to Dallas maybe if they were to move on from McCarthy. I know Steelers fans are like, well, if Tomlin wants to take a break, bring Vrabes back home to Pittsburgh.
Seattle.
And Big Mike.
It's like Vrabes feels like the guy that would go up to Tepper, whole thing, and just be like, listen, suit, we ain't doing this.
Yeah.
And I think Tepper would have to respect it at the time. And Vrabes is already respected enough amongst the people that Tepper's probably going to hit up. Like, hey, this guy good. They're going to say, yep, great. So I just feel like you're right. It has to be the right person. It has to be right. But I think the right people are available. Harbaugh's another one. Not that Harbaugh would want to go to Carolina.
Maybe, though, Harbaugh being so uniquely weird in how he is and his approach, I think he could find a way to make it work with people. You never know.
And he has options, so he can tell a guy, go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
You'll know in the interview, though. Don't you think Tepper should know in the interview? Like when Tepper interviewed Frank Reich, did they really think like, hey, yeah, this is – maybe he thought I can mold him into whatever I want? Or what did he think?
Yeah, I have no idea there.
Pete Carroll, too. I mean, Pete Carroll feels like one of those guys.
Yeah, he would do it in a different manner.
Much
Very
different
nice.
manner,
Yeah,
but still get it positive.
and he has a resume to be like, no.